Dan Self with the Inforcer. Today we're going to talk about how to size up and force an outward swinging door. The first things you want to take note of is that door swinging out or is it swinging in? The easiest way to tell is if you can see the hinges of the door, that door is an outward swinging door. After that, you want to look at if there's any evidence of additional latches. If you've got carriage bolts that are sticking through the skin of the door, it's going to tell you that there's most likely drop bars, some other thing that's securing that door. After that size up, taking care of all those issues, now we're going to talk about forcing the door at the latch. The way I like to force a door, especially a steel door, which is what this will mimic, is taking the adz end of your tool and putting it just below that latch or that deadbolt you're trying to defeat. I like to do that and then use the weight of my body to take and deform that door, drawing that deadbolt out of that door frame, allowing you to get your adz in, tucked in behind that door, and pop it out. One of the things you want to be careful of, you're setting up, you're having your other firefighter strike your tool, there's really only one way to make a mistake is, as you're driving that tool in, on this door you're going to hear a big thump when you hit that door stop. On a lighter weight door you might actually get into that door stop and tear it, making it that much more difficult to deform that door, making life a little bit tougher on it. This is Chris Warren from Lone Star Axe. We use his pig as a striking tool. So I'm coming up here, putting it not at that deadbolt, but below it, enough to where I know I can clear it. And I'm going to take my hand a safe distance away from where I'm going to have this strike and call for a strike. Strike, 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 stop. At this point, I've got my tool in. It's got to have a nice bite. I'm just going to use the weight of my body and go down, deforming that door, taking that deadbolt out of that frame, and now I can tuck my tool in behind and force that door open. Strike, 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 stop. My name is Dan Self with the Inforcer. Today we want to talk about forcing an inward swinging door. One of the ways to recognize an inward swinging door is A, you don't see the hinges. Anytime you see the hinges of a door, you can recognize that door is an outward swinging door. With an inward swinging door, one of your first things you want to do is sound that door. You can take your striking tool, hit it high, middle, and low. What that does is it tells you how structurally solid this door is. If I strike it up at the top of the door and it flexes and bounces, I'm pretty sure there is an additional latch or lock behind here that I've got to deal with. Softens up my latch spot, and at the bottom, same thing. If I get a flex, I know there's no latch I'm not seeing. If it's solid, it gives me an indication this door is going to be a tough force. After that, I can come in, use my adz and my tool to then gap that door. And I'm just taking the tool and using all the leverage and going down and up if needed to get myself a nice little purchase point. With this door, there's no way I'm going to actually force it open just gapping it. Oftentimes on a lightweight door, you can get in here, gap it, and have it pop open. On here, it's just going to give you a little bit of a purchase point. So I'm going to take my tool. I like using the curved end against the door. Often remember how to do that by back of your hand, feeling heat of the door. That's the same shape of the tool I want to have against the door itself. So I've sounded my door. I'm going to come up, gap it. Tough door. I'm not going to be able to just gap this door and open it, so I'm going to turn around, use the curved end of my tool against the door. It gives me a lot more spread. Put my tool in, inward pressure, and I'm going to take some tension towards me and feel that flex in the you bending that steel of the door just ever so slightly. When I'm ready, I'm going to call for my strike. 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 strike, 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 strike. Now, I'm going to stop. If I know that my forks are going to clear that door frame, I can go ahead and say strike at will until I'm ready to stop. Strike at will. Stop. Here, little cheater way to find out whether you've driven that fork in far enough is, at the base of this V, if it's at or beyond the edge of that door stop, you pretty much know you've got your forks far enough past that door frame to where they're going to pivot on it and not have your tool pop out. At this point, get nice and evenly balanced on my feet. Force that door down. Get door control. Get you guys ready to set up your hose lines. Go ahead and find some fire. So just practice on that. See if you can bury it just... Yeah. And we can get my audio out of it.
Yeah.
And at least we haven't demolished the wood. But...
Yeah. I thought I was in the way. Action.
We'll do that again and I'll look a little stronger. I get a little bit closer.
Action.
Dan Self with the Inforcer. I want to show you the baseball bat swing add-on that you can add to any Inforcer door, whether it's brand new or old. What it enables you to do is use a baseball bat swing where you drive in the pike end of your Halligan into a wood frame door and using that adz end to pop that door open. We've designed it so you can have a quick reset after you've used it and forced it several times. You've got a piece of plywood that's no longer in use. You can take it out, replace it. Got adjustable clamp, so you can always make sure that the plywood is nice and snug against the existing door. Set yourself on, clamp it down, you're ready to have the next firefighter go. After you force the door using the baseball bat swing, set it again, and a wooden dowel goes through the pin receiver. And once it sets and is inside your baseball bat receiver piece here, you're ready to go again. Each time you force that door, just be breaking off about an inch of that wooden dowel, pop it out, shut the door again, reseat that dowel, and you're ready to go. My name is Dan Self with the Inforcer. I want to talk to you today about the features of the door. One of the main components is what we call the insert. It's a steel piece of tubing that sits inside the doors and is replaceable, and a 1/2-inch rod. Those two pieces mimic the deadbolt that goes into the frame of the door, and the piece of steel mimics the feel and difficulty of a tough steel door. This door stop right here, it's machined so it can be adjustable, so you've got a changing gap in between the door stop and the door that you can modulate how difficult you want that force to be of getting your fork in and being able to get a purchase. This piece can also be removed and reversed. So over the years, this edge of the door, if it gets worn, gets rounded out, gets a little less difficult to force, you can unbolt this, not only adjust it, but turn it around and you've got that fresh edge against the door. You come over this side, so this is the insert and pin. Each time you force it, this will get... After you've trained using the set of irons, there's another cut station. This is the deadbolt cut station. Bounce onto the door. You bolt it in place. put this notched section towards the door frame, after you've made your cut, it'll actually open up. Tighten these in place. Snug up your bolts, you shut your door. With a 1/2-inch rod, and slide it through your pin receiver. Once you get your deadbolt cut station on, tighten up your hardware. Take a 1/2-inch rod, it slides through the pin receiver. Once you capture the other side of the plate, make sure the door doesn't swing open. You can tighten down on that 1/2-inch rod so it doesn't spin during your cut. It's got a ratcheting handle so you can get out of the way just in case someone gets a little excited with their saw. You can do a plunge cut and cut your deadbolt that way. And here we've got a station where you can either put a chain in, create tension, take a cut-off saw and cut the chain, or you can break a padlock. Enables you to have padlocks you've either forgotten the combination to, lost the key, still usable. Set it in, put your bolt through. You can either use the fork end technique and twist, or set your pike end through the shackle, take a striking tool and break the padlock that way as well. Got a padlock break station as well. It has a bolt that slides out. You can take a padlock that you've either lost the combination to, don't have the key, set it in, set your bolt. You either have the pike end, take a striking tool, breaking the padlock that way, or you can take the fork end, slide it through the shackle. You can also put a padlock